Hi there, the celebratory period is upon us once more, and we are glad to have you join us for this weekend's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. In today's show, we are exploring our emancipation story. We also make space to be health-wise and celebrate extraordinary Jamaican sporting achievers. Stick around for these and more interesting features for your enlightenment.
The wait is over. After a 2-year hiatus, the Dembe Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show is back. The 68th staging is set to begin on July 23 at the Dembe Showground in Maypen, Clarendon, under the theme, Grow Smart, Eat Smart.
We want energy. We want excitement. We want us to be aggressively moving.
This year's show returns with Villages for Youth in Agriculture, Children, Health and Wellness Village, along with livestock and agricultural and horticultural displays and much more. Festivities commence on Saturday, July 23 with a Farmers Run Walk in Clarendon. The National Farm Queen Coronation and youth activities are set for Saturday, July 30. Sunday, July 31 begins a High Pro Dembe Gospel Extravaganza for patrons. For the finale on Monday, August 1, the event will culminate with a showcase of Jamaica's culture.
Dembe 68 will be a great event. It will be entertaining. It will be exciting.
Gates open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Admission $1,200 for adults and $600 for children. Tickets will be available at the gate.
In the next 2 days, Jamaica will mark an important period in our history, the end of shackle slavery. But we are starting the conversation early, right here, as our first feature examines the Emancipation Story.
Chattel slavery had come to an end. Men, women, and children had learned they'd been freed from the evils of oppression. A system described in history as one of the most brutal: slavery. For centuries, one race of people, the black, was treated less than human, merely the property of another.
From the perspective of those who experienced it, it was a brutal system, it was exploitative, it denied people their freedom, and I think we can say it was a crime against humanity, something that was totally immoral.
But why did this evil live on for as long as it did? Clearly, there is evidence of greed for money, great wealth, and power in all its facets.
From the point of view of the enslavers, it was a profitable system. They saw enslaved peoples as sinews of empire, as cheap labor.
When slavery was introduced in Jamaica in the 15th century, it was considered a necessary evil to achieve progress. But progress for whom?
All Europe became industrialized and developed as a result of the labor of our ancestors, because they reaped benefits. Some individuals and chiefs, that the chiefs and some states in Africa, I think that some of them benefited. The investors would have benefited. Even the royal family benefited from slavery because they were investors. MPs and Lord Mayors. In the case of the British colonized Caribbean, since we're talking about Jamaica, we're talking about England, people in England. Banks, insurance companies like Lloyd's of London.
The enslaved cunningly rebelled, and at times with much fury. Still, countless lives were lost and many severely beaten as punishment.
From Hanover, John Allen from Shettlewood Pen, who got 100 lashes. Patrick Allen from Trial Estate, who got 200 lashes. And 2 women, Catherine Brown and Catherine Clark, who also got 50 lashes each. So it was brutal.
Rigid slave laws empowered the white slave-owning class, and so the barbaric treatment to men of color, not considered free and equal, continued. Fractions of the religious sect uttered disapproval and campaigned for abolition. But slaves, assisted by the Maroons, charted the course to their own freedom. Victory was hard won and came only after countless vicious revolts staged across the island, the most famous, the 1831 War.
They wanted to be able to live their lives as free citizens, and they wanted justice, and they wanted to be treated and given the rights of citizenship, including a fair equality before the law.
Sugar, the reservoir of wealth, was shaken and on the decline. And in 1833, a proposal previously pushed came once again before the British Parliament for the abolition of slavery. On August 1, 1834, all slaves in the British West Indies were declared free, but still under an apprenticeship system.
But the apprentices declared that nothing but freedom would satisfy them. So the system was chipped away, the apprentices chipped away at the system. Anti-slavery activists stepped up their campaign, and so the system ended prematurely in 1838.
And ushered in full freedom, and with it, the right of persons of African descent to determine their destinies. Slavery, with its trademark of human cruelty and deception, was for the most part defeated. Righteousness and justice had prevailed, and the faith and hope of a free people live on today.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up. Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence. I want him well for celebrating it. They say the people them in them come here, you know. But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, but no, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal, pants, collect medal. Amount of tongue, we did amount of tongue. The celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report. I am on site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it pre. Activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration. If you download the app to get the updates then.
The World Health Organization has declared the monkeypox virus as a global emergency. And so we divert a bit from history, using our next stop on this magazine journey to look at the signs, symptoms, and ways to prevent this viral disease.
Monkeypox is a rare disease that is similar to smallpox and can be transmitted by contact and droplet exposure. The disease is caused by the monkeypox virus, a member of the orthopox virus genus. While smallpox was eradicated in 1980, monkeypox continues to occur, mainly in countries of Central and West Africa.
The virus is normally found in animals, but the disease may be transmitted from animals to humans, usually through bites or scratches or consumption of bushmeat.
Cases have been found in animals such as squirrels, Gambian poached rats, dormice, different species of monkeys, and others. Human-to-human transmission can occur through contact with bodily fluids, lesions on the skin or internal mucosal surfaces such as in the mouth or throat, respiratory droplets, and contaminated objects.
Milder cases of monkeypox may go undetected and represent a risk of person-to-person transmission. Children are at high risk, and monkeypox during pregnancy may lead to complications, congenital monkeypox, or stillbirth.
Detection of viral DNA by a polymerase chain reaction (PCR) test is the preferred laboratory test for monkeypox. Antigen and antibody detection methods may not be as useful as they do not distinguish between orthopox viruses. Persons infected with monkeypox usually present with a fever, rash, and swollen lymph nodes. In addition to the swollen lymph nodes, the fever stage of the illness usually lasts 1 to 3 days and can come with intense headache, back pain, muscle ache, and an intense lack of energy. This is followed by the skin eruption stage, which lasts for 2 to 4 weeks.
The incubation period is usually 6 to 13 days, but it can range from 5 to 21 days. The disease is often self-limiting, with symptoms usually resolving spontaneously within 14 to 21 days.
Treatment of monkeypox patients is dependent on the symptoms. Vaccines used for smallpox eradication have provided protection against monkeypox, while newer vaccines have been developed to specifically prevent this disease, one of which has been approved by the World Health Organization. Persons can also protect themselves using the same safety protocols for COVID-19.
Present COVID-19 measures of practicing physical distancing, mask wearing, and frequent hand sanitization will also reduce the likelihood of transmission of monkeypox virus.
In recent times, monkeypox outbreaks have been reported in Europe, North America, and Australia, with more countries reporting cases. Most cases are linked to persons with recent travel to countries where monkeypox is endemic, mainly in the region of West Africa. But caution is urged all around the world. The World Health Organization says the current outbreak is spreading primarily through sexual contact.
Persons must report to the health department if they develop a fever, a rash, following recent international travel, or close contact with persons who have traveled to endemic countries. Healthcare workers must also have a heightened sense of awareness of this disease that has been spreading in some countries and report suspected cases to the health department.
Prevention of diseases is important to our well-being, so let's all remain vigilant and practice good hygiene and measures that protect us against the monkeypox and other contagious viruses. Be safe for long life. Stay in good health.
Jamaicans consume on average 9 to 12 grams of sodium or salt per day, twice the World Health Organization recommended amount of less than 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of salt, and more ideally, less than 2 grams of sodium per adult per day from all food sources. This excess salt in the diet causes high blood pressure, kidney and bone damage, gastric cancer, obesity, and worsening of asthma. Reduce the amount of salt you consume to no more than 3 to 5 grams, or half to 1 teaspoon per day for adults, and less than 2 grams for children under 11 years of age. Let's shake the salt habit and live healthy. A public service message from the Jamaica Information Service.
Back to the celebration mode. It's time to remember some of our extraordinary sporting history. Cheers to the outstanding athletes who have given us 60 years of impressive sport milestones.
I take a few moments to highlight some of the extraordinary achievements over the last year. Elaine Thompson-Hero created history several times during this year. She won the 100 and 200 meters at the Tokyo Games to become the first woman to win the sprint double at separate Olympic Games following her outstanding performances at Rio in 2016. She won the Loris World Sportswoman of the Year Award, first Jamaican to do so, and is the fastest woman alive. Elaine, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price and Sharika Jackson made a clean sweep of the medals in the 100 meters in Tokyo, and all helped Jamaica win gold in the 4x100 meters relay. Hansa Parchment became the Olympic sprint hurdles champion as Jamaica ended the Tokyo Games with 4 gold, 1 silver and 4 bronze medals. Team Jamaica finished with 11 medals and a world record at the World Under-20 Championships in Kenya. Fraser McConnell drove into history, becoming the first Jamaican to claim a supercar victory in the Rally Nordic Championship. Out of a field of 10,000, Sarah Messier was one of the top 4 Formula women drivers to earn a spot on the DTO Motorsport team that will compete in the GT Cup Championships. Young Alex Powell became the first Jamaican and first person from the Caribbean to win an FIA karting race. Rear Admiral Antoinette Wims Gorman became the first woman to be appointed Chief of Staff of the Jamaica Defence Force, joining a list of our country's most celebrated women, who are called barrier breakers. The contribution of Taki, the 18th century leader of the first and one of the most significant wars against slavery in this country. So impactful was this war that it inspired the Haitian Revolution. And earlier this year, my ministry petitioned the Governor General to declare Taki Day each year on April 8th, a fitting tribute during Jamaica 60 celebrations. Out of many one people, we have chosen as our motto. And very true it is. All of us should be proud of the example of racial harmony which we have set for the rest of the world.
No matter where in this world I go, I am a Jamaican.
Jamaica comes alive as we celebrate 60 years of independence, our Diamond Jubilee. All year long, join in the celebratory events, showcasing impactful legacy projects, entertainment and exciting commemorative events. Resilient and brave, industrious. Yes, we are Jamaicans. Jamaica 60, reigniting a nation for greatness.
Them here Jamaican chat, them say Jamaican bap.
Just before we wrap today's show, here's another inspiring story of our people finding purpose. In this next feature, learn about a youth upliftment program that's unearthing the talents of young people interested in creative pursuits.
Mr. Music Man, tell me a story now. What kind of story do I hear?
The kind of story that speaks about how realities are being redefined. The kind of story that uses the creative magic of music as the tool to cultivate positive behavior and attitudes, while simultaneously developing entrepreneurial skills. A story that calls to all Jamaicans using the familiarity of sound, rhythm, and movement. The story written by Fiwi Jamaica. The Fiwi Jamaica project began in 2015 with the aim of empowering women and girls and other vulnerable groups dealing with human trafficking, domestic and intimate partner violence, among other issues, through various social and economic intervention programs.
The project had 7 activities to deepen our understanding of tolerance. A very significant part of our project was activity 3, creating the space for change and transformation through music and culture.
The interventions implemented under Activity 3 included St. James Gender-Based Violence Music Initiative, including Drums for Life, Masters in Residence Global Competitiveness Training Program, Girls Using Ubuntu Respect and Love for Entrepreneurial Success Girls, Songwriting Competition, Downtown Music Theatre Summer Camp, and Women Healing in Music. The drum has been the heartbeat of traditional African societies. It was used as the instrument to celebrate various aspects of life. Through Fiwi Jamaica, the drum became a medium of transformation for the youths engaged in the St. James Gender-Based Violence Music Initiative.
The project involves the teaching of hand drumming by the Trelawney Maroons to students in selected communities in and around Montego Bay. We also included teaching of traditional and popular dance and also spoken word as aspects of the Drums for Life program to make it a little bit more inclusive. Throughout the 12 weeks, we ensured that the students understood that they were able to consider a career from playing drums.
Progress, Mr. No time for look, but my education is key. From poverty, it's a go set me free. Time for waste, no, me not have that.
It has helped me being more focused in my schoolwork and being particular with my friends.
Master drummers also engaged the participants through mentorship.
It kind of saved me out of trouble, and all my teenage, tender age was all about focusing on music. I was so occupied, I didn't have time to get involved in anything else. My whole, every day I get up, what else new, what song we will learn today. So it was a drive that kept me occupied, and so I never get involved in anything else other than music and dreaming big,
The practice of mentorship also filtered into the Masters in Residence MIR Global Competitiveness Training Program. The intervention also adopted the coaching and entrepreneurship strategies of Jamaica's successful track and field enterprise. The MIR program became a creative hub for songwriters, performers, technicians, and managers.
We wanted to present an option, a blueprint that would set to young producers and young artists and things. You don't necessarily have to go that way. We have massage a template into place that we can set to people. Here is a way to train performers. Here is a way to train songwriters. Here are some things that we can introduce people to who are interested in management.
That template produced a class with over 40 graduates, equipped with the skills to share the Jamaican creative experience on the international stage.
It is much more than talent. That is only half of it, and that is exactly what the program brought to light. And it helps me to better myself as a performer, as a songwriter. I got exposed to the knowledge of engineering and marketing as well, so I can market myself as an artist.
The female entrepreneurs in the MIR program, through the creation of Girls in Music, responded to the challenge as to how to enable women in the music industry.
The overarching objective of Girls is to assist and empower female entrepreneurs in various industries and disciplines to achieve their goals by providing funding, mentorship, educational and entrepreneurial services, as well as other related activities. We have witnessed the ideas of various members come to fruition. These include 2 successful plays, Living Dangerously and Forbidden Fruit. The theme song for the Tambourine Army's march against abuse of both women and men, with the deeply impactful and sobering anthem, Now Make Them Win. You are a part of the unveiling of an all-female-led album, Big Woman Things.
Treat me accordingly. We need to talk about this brewing song. Them things that me so concerned. Me I tell you but you still not learn.
Songwriters and lyricists were also provided with a creative space to speak of universal concerns through the songwriting competition. A total of 183 entries were submitted at the close of the 2017 staging. Contestants were required to compose lyrics to a partially completed song entitled You Deserve to Be Loved.
Their advice was to talk about it from the pastor perspective rather than, say you see him beat her, I just say, as a pastor, I would encourage you. I should encourage you to stay, because the first rule of a pastor is never to tell a husband and wife to separate. My mother tell me that early, no matter what. But I just decided to say right away that not gonna make no sense. I should encourage you to stay, but dear sister, I can't encourage you to do that today. Safety has to be a first priority. Don't tell me say him love me because him beat me because him love me. Because love don't beat or easily get angry. Love is patient, love is kind, as the Bible will remind. Love supposed to bless you, not disrespect you.
The philosophical underpinning of the entire project was our embrace of the South African concept of Ubuntu. I am because you are because I am. And that became an important theme in the project, that we not only shaped in song and music, but we delivered in much of the interventions that we've had. We wanted to empower Jamaicans to recognize that we have a responsibility for Jamaica. Jamaica belongs to all of it. It's free Jamaica, and that means we have a responsibility to ensure that Jamaica can grow and prosper, and we can achieve the visions that we've created for ourselves in Vision 2030.
Find a way, you are a diamond, so I am because you are. So I am because you are. I am because you are. Open to I am because you are. One more time again. I am because you are.
Was chocolate milk invented in Jamaica? Well, history has it that the first use of the term milk chocolate was for a beverage brought to London from Jamaica in 1687. The vehicle was one Sir Hans Sloane, physician to the governor of Jamaica. The story is that he was introduced to chocolate tea by slaves whom he saw drinking it. They told him that it was more delicious with milk and that the chocolate tea was also good for health. Sloane went back to England and produced milk chocolate, which later became Cadbury's. But it was not until the Swiss inventor Daniel Peter successfully combined cocoa and condensed milk in 1875 that the commercial milk chocolate bar was invented. Celebrating Jamaica 60 with pieces of our history.
Hey there! So I recently came across a post from the World Health Organization, and I'm just here assuming that, like me, you're also looking for ways to take care of yourself, right? Well, let's hope so. The post read, 1 in 2 young people is at risk of hearing loss. So here goes. This is what I learned about safe listening habits. How do you even know when noise is damaging your hearing? There are easy tells, and most likely you've experienced one, if not all. You have to raise your voice to talk to other people. You cannot hear what people nearby are saying. It hurts your ears. You have ringing. Did you hear that? Okay, back to what I was saying. If you have ringing in your ears or muffled hearing afterwards, the noise is quite possibly loud enough to damage your hearing. So, what can you do? Keep the volume down. Do not listen to music at more than 60% of the maximum volume. Do not use earphones or headphones for more than an hour at a time. Take a break for at least 5 minutes every hour. Use earplugs in noisy places. Also, if you're in a noisy environment, try to take a break every 15 minutes. Give your hearing about 18 hours to recover after exposure to lots of loud noise. Limit time spent on loud activities. Monitor sound levels using mobile apps. And finally, check your hearing regularly. We oftentimes drown our listening habits in the noise and the vibe. But as you just learned, it takes very little to take care of our hearing health. And that's it. Easy, simple, and done. Happy hearing.
And with that, we ended today's journey inside Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. Until then, there is more to watch by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Until next time, do take care and keep safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.